What a beautiful day. And what beautiful roses. Peggy Martin roses from my sister to vine over my garden gate trellis arch that my husband made. Here we are, spring garden, time to do a little bit of planting. I mean, really, aren't these just absolutely gorgeous? I can't wait till they go over the entire thing. Welcome to Scofield Farm. I'm going to plant a few of my tomatoes out. It is early, it's middle April. I usually do like late April, early May, but our temps have been pretty consistently over freezing for quite a while. I need to look up when our frost was, but it was a while ago. And I have some heirloom kind of tomatoes that don't usually do wonderful for me once the heat starts. So I feel like I might as well try that bed first, because if they don't do well, they don't usually do great in our heat. If they do get an early start, I could actually get some better production from them, you know, really for the first year so far to get good heirlooms. So I'm thinking it's worth it to take this gamble to see if I can get more heirlooms than I usually get in our really hot summers. 115, sometimes above. I know I keep saying it, but these climbing roses are such a novelty to me. I planted them on both sides and they're doing really well. I try to do string. Please don't judge my novice attempt of giving them some way to grab on. Doing the best I can, but I'm just happy with the amount of blooms every time I walk into the garden gate. It is absolutely magnificent. I have all of these calendula as well. I planted a bunch of calendula several years, but they actually volunteer back. They like to self-seed in our area. They bloom year round. There is a bee. Sad to say, it is not my honeybee because I just found out our bees swarmed. I didn't give them enough room. It has been quite the crazy spring. And so I'm really sad to say it's too late for me to get a nuke, and we're gonna have to just regroup next year. I'm sorry you're not my little bee, or maybe you were and you're one that left. My garlic and lettuce is doing really good. Some of these lettuce I planted in the fall and we have eaten off of them a lot. You can harvest lettuce over and over again. I also started a new to me variety called Emerald Fan, and I planted those out in between, and I'm hoping to plant some tomatoes on the west side of these. They will be the east side, so they'll get a little bit of shade, and hopefully I can get a decent harvest from them since we still have pretty mild temperatures. A lot of my brassicas were not amazingly productive, like this cabbage decides it's bolting, and I'm just letting it do it because I don't have things ready to plant in its place quite yet. Some sort of bug went to town on my broccoli. I got a little bit at a time. I mean, I talk about sometimes a little bit. Just wasn't quite the year for them, but I like to try every year and see how things go. I do have some cauliflower over here that haven't produced yet, so maybe I'll still get cauliflower, and I have a whole nother bed of some different brassicas as well. Over here, my other brassicas, and we will see if they produce. You can see a little bit of broccoli there. It's coming up a little bit here. So I don't know, guys. We will see. That is a blooming, sprouting broccoli. That's okay. I honestly don't mind. Sometimes in a spring like we've had, where we have had so much illness, and my mom even in the hospital, you just do what you have to do. And if it means that nature gets most of your harvest, it's just gonna have to be okay. Things are quite pretty as I walk through. More calendula. We have snapdragons. Aren't they lovely? We have some onions that I have been harvesting as spring onions because they're starting to bolt. They have that little head. Oh, look at the California poppies. They're so pretty. We have two really big chard bushes in this bed. All sorts of stuff we have that act as perennials in our area. The bed I'm going to plant in is over here. And we topped it off with some compost from our own homemade compost pile. I already have this fencing in here that I like to trellis my tomatoes to. It's cattle panel fencing, and then we have the arch on the other side of it that will grow some sort of vining something over. My parsley is bolting over there. I really need to harvest it and use it. But I'm gonna work over here and get this going, and I'm gonna plant down the middle, as I said, some of the heirlooms that don't usually have a lot of time to do well, and so I feel like it's a worthwhile type to plant first. There's my cilantro. This is trying to go to seed, but I will cut it off so we can have it keep going. And here's the tray of tomatoes I'm gonna plant first. Look at this volunteer tomato. I'm pretty sure it's a super sweet 100 that is like very bushy, coming back just fine in the temps. So I think my tomatoes are gonna do fine that I plant over here. The varieties that I'm gonna try to do today that are heirlooms, that I'm not saying they don't produce, but I'm saying in our climate, I might get like a handful of fruit, and I'd love to get a better number. So I'm hoping these mild temperatures getting established will do that. I'm gonna plant black plum. This is new to me. I got the seeds from another gardener in town. They do really well for her. Black Krim is actually my very favorite flavor of larger tomatoes. I grow it even if it's only gonna give me a handful of tomatoes, but I would love to have a lot more. So I'm hoping that these do better, planted early. Dr. Wykes haven't done that well for me the last couple of years. Some years they've done great. I think the years I did better were years I planted in April. So last year I planted very late after Mother's Day. It was another crazy year. Our springs have just been, guys, I keep thinking I'm gonna have a better spring soon. Like next year it's being a better spring, and it hasn't been that way. So I'm just trying to roll with what I've got. Pineapple. Pineapple, I got like a couple tomatoes last year, barely any, but they're really good. And I like them to get bigger. So I'm gonna do pineapple early. Emerald apple I'm gonna do early. This, I think my plant died last year, so I don't know if I've ever actually tasted that one. Thessalonica is new to me. I'm gonna do Thessalonica. Green zebra, I really like these. I didn't get a ton from them, but I liked the flavor a lot. And then brown sugar, I tried last year, and I don't know if I got any. I feel like my plant died. I had some problems last year. I had somebody water my starts. We were gone for spring break, and they overwatered them, and so several of my more delicate heirlooms actually died to a fungal disease from being overwatered and just had a rough start. I had tons of cherry tomatoes last year, tons and tons and tons of cherry tomatoes, but not a lot of my larger tomatoes. So that's why I thought, get these in the ground early. Those volunteers I showed you over there are doing great. So I think they're gonna be fine. I really do think the temps are fine. I'm not gonna chance planting my peppers because low 40s at night are not good for something like peppers. I usually plant my peppers like latest and plant my tomatoes earlier. And as I said, we haven't been near frost at all. And the forecast has things in the mid 40s to low 50s as evening temps. So I think we're gonna be fine, and hopefully we'll actually get a better harvest. And you can follow along and see how that goes. If you want to press the follow button for our channel, or press the like button, or even leave comments with questions and your thoughts and ideas and feedback, I would love to interact with you. I like to kind of share with you what we're doing, real life, real growing food for a family. We are a family of 9 in Northern California. We're in Zone 9B, so we have pretty mild winters compared to a lot of people in the country, maybe even in the world. But it is kind of like we go from almost like winter weather to summer, triple digits, often that fast. So this is kind of always a gamble. Do I plant early? Do I not? And it's kind of mixed. You know, if you talk to people in our county, it's mixed. Some people have already planted. Some people swear by waiting until after Mother's Day. I usually move before Mother's Day, but I do like to make sure that it's warm enough for them to thrive. Because if I lost everything that I started from seed, I would be super bummed. I usually grow about 15 or so tomatoes in a bed this size. It's 4 by 12, and I do them down the middle, kind of staggered. And since I grow them up, I do prune them, so it gives more room. And then things like the onions on the sides will be harvested. The cilantro, it will make room for them as the season goes on to spread their roots and thrive. Okay, black Krim, I'm liking to do one on each side so that as they kind of overlap through the fence, They'll generally be the same things. My pineapple, my emerald apple, I have those away from the other green tomato. Black plum, Dr. White's, that's yellow. And then over here, we'll have our Thessalonica, I believe that's red, our green zebra, and our brown sugar. So the colors should vary, which I like color variants. That would be really pretty. I like to do gardening in little amounts of time that make sense for my life and my family. And so I don't always plant the whole garden all at the exact same time. I will plant it when I have time. And so often you'll see me out here doing little bits at a time so that things get done. A lot of these tags are fade proof. However, I do know some are not, and I can't remember which ones. So I'm having it face, I think, east when I can, because the west sun is the most brutal. South sun is the most constant. North would be no direct sunlight, right? So north is probably the safest way for it to face. These are pretty compact little plants, but they have really nice foliage. So I'm not planting them crazy deep because they're not crazy tall, but you want things to be nice and compact and really green. That is a good sign of a healthy plant. Dirty hands to prove it. Didn't take very long. My husband's gonna come water it in and just make sure it's settled in since our hose reel is way over there. I have some shoulder issues to drag it that far, but always water your plants in. And then let me show you how it looks. It's gonna look so good once this is all growing. And I do sell my extras. So some of these I definitely have extras of that haven't sold yet. So if something happens, it goes wrong, I can always replant these couple tomatoes. There we go. There they are, down the middle. I like to plant things along the edges, like flowers, herbs, onions, garlic, and I will probably find some little things to plant, like my basils and stuff as we go, but I'm not planting those out quite yet. It'll be another day because I like to do things, as I said, in pockets of time. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again soon, and we'll check on the progress of those tomatoes. I'll link in the bottom a video I made about can you grow food in 15 minutes a day, and I will see you in the next video.